Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Leadership Speak series of L Forum. Today, I have the privilege and joy of welcoming a very close friend who is an entrepreneurial leader with a twist. Welcome to the show, Jane Guyette.
Thank you, Ringo, for having me. Well, my background is in what I call the medical arts industry, both on the Western side and most recently in the holistic therapies. And I've been doing that ever since graduating from college, actually in college. And I didn't like where Western medicine was going in managed care, and had some of my personal healing issues go on in my body that I had to self-heal because there was nothing out there to rely on. Then which kind of moved me into and transitioned me into holistic therapies. I am an empowerment coach. I am a spiritual coach if that's what they need. I am there to give them hope. So Bhumi Health is really about hope, their hope of the future and being the best possible person they can be. I was going to college, and at the same time I was working at a leading university in San Francisco. And so I was doing a lot. My body was stressed out a little bit after, 10 years of dancing pretty heavily and working a full-time job, and it was starting to show wear and tear. I had to start looking into healing arts, started doing Pilates, became a Pilates instructor, and then that's when the real work started in not only healing myself, but also working with other people. And it opened up just this whole world of self-healing, self-awareness. Did a lot of, I did personal development seminars. I was working on myself at the same time. And I think what it was is that the more I worked on myself and the more I found answers, the more I wanted to share. And so that would take me into the next healing art. So I was a Pilates instructor, massage therapist. I understood then. I started learning how the strength of touch. I started learning how the strength of your words. And this one is really interesting, a term that I would have never guessed, but I became a colon hydrotherapist. For me, I had to experience it myself. I had to learn from it and then teach what I learned, being a textbook leader and, teaching something that you read. It's another thing to teach something that you've actually experienced as true. Before you even say anything, is to have a relationship and there has to be a sense of trust between people. And that was the one thing that worked really, really well with me and my clients, and to this day works with me and my clients, because we're just real. Business world, which I've also worked, is your team trusting you? Do they agree with what's happening in the organization? Do you feel supported by your team? Are you supporting your team? So, leadership is just, it's really how you're being and how you're showing up. And,
Excellent.
And are you empowering? Empowerment is big. I think that's probably the key. You've got to empower people. Probably the biggest thing was probably my personal life, balancing my personal life. When I get into a project, I really get into it because I really love it. Really figuring out when to take a break. And this, I think I matured on over time, is that I spent more and more time planning for my day, meditating. Even if it's 5 minutes, to just ground. So do some kind of grounding activity, because I was dealing with a lot of one-on-one and a lot of emotion, and I didn't want to take that on, and get too mixed into their energy. That was the balancing, was really the grounding and making sure that I didn't take on the story. Somebody else's emotion triggers your emotion. And then you get wrapped up in it, like office gossip, the things that you start catching yourself doing, and getting involved in that instead of spending time on your work or what your goals are, or what's your purpose, what's your ultimate goal. So just that's what I would look at as far as the balance, and advice to anybody out there is really look at how you're being in the workplace when you're not working. My biggest challenge has probably been asking for money. Biggest challenge, because I am such a giver. I will give everything away.
Yeah. That can be tough when you're running an entrepreneurial setup, right?
Exactly. So it's been a challenge. I've gotten better at it, just because I've worked for nonprofits in my early career. So I wasn't in the private sector. So I never had that learning part of it in being a private sector when I started as an entrepreneur. So I had to kind of learn that. Because I give so much, and one of the learning things is that I had to remember to recharge myself. And part of recharging myself is receiving. So I had to learn how to receive more. And I think too with leaders is that leaders want to give and direct, but they also have to be directed. They have to take the cues on when to step back a minute and just listen and not react. It's a lot of work, right? So, and we know that. And if you're not afraid of hard work, it'll be fine. But the biggest thing is that if your end result doesn't make you happy, you're probably not going to be really motivated to get to the finish line. When I was doing online cleansing seminars, and I was in total bliss when I was actually finally teaching that class. It was really hard setting up that classroom, doing the marketing, doing all that online stuff. There's a lot of pieces involved, and I was doing a lot when I first started, right? I was everything, right? I was the accountant, I was the programmer, I was the marketing person, I'm the teacher, I'm, everything. And it was a lot of work, but it was just when you get to that end result and you're like, you've got to sit and enjoy it. You got to go, this is great. And this is my purpose. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to transform lives. And that's what I was doing. And as long as I was getting that result, I can do anything. It didn't matter how much work.
Thank you. And wish you and Bhumi Health all the very best and all the success. Thank you for your time, and wish you all the very best.
Like, share, and subscribe to the EL Forum channel. Click the link below to enjoy the full video.